for people to get in, but I want to get started because I do have some announcements today. Hello, everyone. Happy Thursday. Hope you guys are having a good week. I need to adjust here. Okay, so just a few announcements. If you didn't see or follow along, we had our leader retreat this past weekend. Hopefully you guys all did see what was going down with that and kind of gave you some hype to work the business and get excited to earn stuff like that, because it's a very real thing that you can do, is earn trips like that from me, from Beachbody, from all these different things, and it's really fun to get together. So but one of the, obviously we're there having fun and all of that, but we do work. All my girls will nod and agree. We went over a lot of stuff that we want to implement this year and this month, next quarter, for you guys, and just stuff we want to do as a team. So the first thing that I want to say is, we were just talking, I don't even know how this conversation got brought up. But I was encouraged by one of the coaches to oh, I know why. And you would have saw this if you were on the, coach info call, but we were wanting to switch that up and try something new with the coach info call, which if you didn't notice, that was new slides, new format, all of that. And I was like, okay, well here's, should we put the team vision in there? And I was encouraged to share that more. So, I've been coaching for 4.5 years now, and obviously, hopefully, at least, our team name is Team Positive Fitly Fun, right? So that's the team that you're a part of, whether that's you're one of my direct coaches or you're way down in the downline, you're still part of this team. And I was just encouraged to continue sharing my vision and mission for that team with you guys, because you are a part of this, and it's really important to share what's on my heart. And so Joy Phillips, I think she's on, she was like, do you have a vision? And I was like, well, 4 years ago when I didn't know what the heck I was doing, I made a little cover photo for my own Facebook, and I put on there positive, what do I have on there? Positive life, positive mindset, positive results. And that was this saying that I came up with to go with our team name, Positive Fitly Fun. And so you're going to start seeing and hearing that a lot more, because I want to remind you guys too, as part of this community and part of this team, what we're doing. When I created Positive Fitly Fun, that's what it embodies. I wanted to have a positive mindset. I wanted to have fun. If you can't tell, I like to have fun. I want girls doing this business that want to have fun. I want you guys motivating your challengers to have fun and be positive, and be fit for life, not just fit physically, but fit mentally and emotionally, so that whatever life throws at you, hello 2020, you can stay strong and fit. So that's our team name. That's our motto. And I hope that you guys can continue to go out and spread that vision with other people, as you're recruiting for your challenge groups, for coaches, all of that stuff. Just think who are the people that are going to be positive and fun and here to help us as a team and as a group of women, spread that into the world more. So I did want to share with you guys that we did talk about that a little bit. And then we also, with that being said, kind of moving, this is different, but just going through things we talked about. Team Cup is coming up for February, so I did want to touch on that just briefly for you guys. We are going to try something a little different this year for Team Cup. So we still are we have to put teams together. So if you're new, Team Cup is basically twice a year. Beachbody puts on Team Cup, and you can group together into a team with 5 other ladies, and you get to kind of work together and encourage each other for the month. And if you hit certain goals, if you hit Success Club, if you bring in 3 people that month, if you rank advanced that month, so say you're a coach now and you hit Emerald in February, or you're Emerald and you go Diamond, whatever it is, you can get points for your team and you win prizes. And actually several teams from our team slayed in August. Raise your hand if you won a prize from Success Club, or from Team Cup last time. Yeah, you guys got some baller prizes. So it's really fun. But what we were thinking and what we talked about this weekend is we'll still put you guys onto teams of 5, because you have to do that to register. But we were why don't we just make one big group for everyone that wants to be in Team Cup, and we can all work as one big cohesive team for all of us. So we're going to have a form to fill out if you would like to be on a Team Cup, which just basically means like, hey, I want to work my business in February. You don't have to like know everything. You don't have to have these big, huge goals, like, and want to be like top coach, whatever. You just have to be like, hey, like I would love some support and some encouragement, and I would like to pour into my business in the month of February. If that's you, I'm going to post a Google form tomorrow in the team page. And you can just fill it out, as simple as like putting your name, putting like a few other information, and then we'll get everyone into a separate Facebook group, and we'll kind of run from there, and we'll like make sure all the teams get registered and you guys have captains and all of that. But I did want you guys to know that is going down. So that should be pretty fun and exciting. I'm trying to think of like anything else announcement wise that I wanted to tell you guys before we move on to Kayla. Yeah, I think that's all. Okay, so let's get to it then. Oh, just in general, so once a month we're going to do newer coach kind of like calls like this. So Kayla is our brave first person that's going to start. But I really do want to, I think especially like as we continue to grow all of our teams, like it's just really helpful to hear from newer coaches who found success in the beginning and continue to hear from newer coaches that find success, because they all do things differently. They all have different stories and backgrounds and all that. So one team call a month is going to be dedicated to having someone from our team that is newer in coaching, like just come on, and it's going to be very chill like this, where we're just going to kind of hear their story, hear a little bit about like why they started coaching. It's going to be kind of like Q&A style here, like where me and Kayla talk back and forth. And hopefully it's encouraging for you guys that are newer on here, but also for a lot of us veterans, it's just good too to like continue to hear why people get started, what they're doing, so we can help mentor our new coaches as well. So we're going to get right to it. So Kayla, if you want to unmute yourself, and then if you want to share a little bit about like yourself, like what you do, your family, where you live, like all of that, just so people kind of know like a little bit more about you.
Okay, well, I am Kayla, and I know I saw there's several Kaylas, so sometimes in the teams I'm like, what did I do? So I am another Kayla. I am in Indiana, and I am a sixth grade special ed teacher. Right now it's virtual, and I know that if you are a teacher, you feel my pain, and it's just such a struggle right now. And I am a full-time teacher, full-time mama, so I have a 3-year-old and a 5-year-old. And I'm married. My husband, Jordan, he is one of the chefs for the Indianapolis Colts, so he is gone a lot and very busy. And so I met Morgan actually pre-Beachbody years, long ago, when we were, I think like, I want to say like either freshmen or sophomores at Ball State. It was like a speech class. And so I knew Morgan before. And so when she started Beachbody, I kind of just followed her, and I was like, okay, I want to see where this goes, because I danced for 15 years. And so I, like, on the outside, people are like, oh, she's a dancer. Like, I looked decent, but on the inside, I like felt like I weighed 200 pounds. Like, that body image of mine was just never great. Like, I struggled with eating disorders, like all the things, anything that said make you skinny, I just did it, even from when I was like 14 and up, because I did dance. And so we had recitals, and everyone was just looking at you, and you just were in these tight, skinny little costumes. And I just, even from, 14 years old, I started that. And I love to dance, and it was just my outlet, but it just also caused some inner turmoil. And then, start college. And then right after college, I started teaching, and I got pregnant very quickly. And so it just kind of that up and down plateau of things, and then just working full-time, trying to figure out, I guess, kind of how to balance being a mom, a full-time teacher, and then now a wife. It was just a lot, and then still struggling with that anxiety of, am I good enough, and do I look good enough, especially if you are a mom or you've been a mom. Like, I feel like we've all kind of get that or you understand that even if we're skinny, even if whatever, like just that mindset of just your body has changed. And so you're like, man, am I good enough? So I always have struggled with that. And so Morgan reached out to me, actually. I was looking back in 2017. And it was just, I had been watching her, but like, I kind of like, you know, those people you watch and kind of wait for them to kind of reach out for you, but she didn't, like, not right away, at least. It was just very like chill and just like catching up. And I was like, oh my gosh, like I love this girl. I'm pretty sure I told her no like 3 times. So don't get hesitant if people tell you no, because like this was even to like a challenge group, and like I love working out, but I just had my daughter. And I was breastfeeding, so I was actually losing too much weight. And so I was like, I can't work out. Like my doctor like had me on this strict weird diet. And so I was like, honey, I can't work out. And she was like, okay, cool, whatever. And then she kind of like kept reaching out, and then she kind of stopped. And I was like, oh, she stopped reaching out to me. Like, it was just, I don't know. I was just like, oh, okay, well, she's done with me. But then I kept watching her, and she posted this nutrition video. And in my challenge group, I call it like the infamous nutrition video, because there's her talking about the containers. And I was like, girl, I need whatever that is. I want those little containers. Like, I just thought that's my cure-all. Like, you know, like it was March of 2020. Like I had gained weight. I was at home miserable. I was going into a depression, like this darkness where I just was like, I'm just eating because I can eat. And that anxiety and all of that just got back to me. And so I just thought, well, I can just work out at home. I had like a Jillian Michaels DVD that I thought I was going to do as the same workout 10 days in a row. I just thought, oh, I'll just do that because, you know, I had it. It was $10. So I figured I'd do that. So I just was like, no, I just need the nutrition stuff. And she was like, okay, but it's cheaper to get workouts too. And I was like, okay. So I started with the 10 rounds, fell in love with it, became obsessed with it. I lost 25 pounds, which I have never like when I lose weight, like go on my binge, it was like maybe 10 pounds, 15 pounds. Never 25. I was like, I can't even lose 25 pounds. Yeah, no, you can. I'm at 32 pounds now. So it's doable and it's maintainable and stuff. So then I did 10 rounds, and I'm trying to think, I don't think I had finished it yet. And then she was like, so you're killing it. You want to be a coach? I was like, what do I have to do? Like, do I have to go to people's houses? Like, what? It's COVID. Like, what do you do? And so she just gave me information, and I'm that person. I'm like, you know what? Why not? Like, I have done all of the other like workout things. I thought, why not? I'll coach some people. Like, I've actually lost weight. I feel good. I'm mentally like back on track. And that was the biggest thing to me, I think, is just to be mentally like back there. And so I was like, yeah, sure, I'll try it. She's like, yeah, you can just get another, I think I got 80-day obsession. She's like, yeah, that's cheaper. You get more containers that you love, because I just became obsessed with them. And I was like, more containers, and I got a whole new thing. And she was like, yeah, it's like free to sign up for a coach. And then it's like, you know, the Prime, it was like a Prime membership. Like, she just was like, yeah, it's real cool. It's like $17 a month. Like, it's fine. And I was like, sure, let me talk to my husband. And God love my husband. He's like, yeah, sure, whatever you want to do. I think he didn't think that I was serious, and I think that he didn't think I'd actually like work out, because I kind of hid that I was working out before, because I would get up super early, like we were all home, and so I would just go upstairs. So I worked out in my kitchen. Like, I hid it, so I got up at 4:30, worked out in my kitchen, was so quiet. He didn't even know I was working out until like I think week 5, and he was like, "You're kind of looking good," and I was like, "Yeah, I think I want to do this coaching thing too," and he was like, okay. I was like, okay, then I'll tell Morgan I'll do it. So then I just did it, and I just fell in love, and I'm still in love. Like, I'm Enneagram type 2. So if you know anything about that, I love to help people. I'm currently virtually teaching my special ed students who cannot log on to a Chromebook just because physically, some of them can't. And so I just was like, where are my people? Like, I felt like I wasn't being good enough helping students. And so I just became obsessed with this coaching thing. And I just love helping people, and I love sharing it. And I love all the progression that my challengers have had, but also that I continue to have. So that's all my quick story in a nutshell.
I love it. Well, one of the first questions I was going to ask was, like, how long obviously I'm your coach, but like how long you watched me or how many times like you said no to it, but you kind of answered that, because I think that's
Yeah.
just such a good reminder for everyone on here, whether you're new or not,
Mm-hmm.
to continue to follow up, which obviously maybe I got a little lax on the follow-ups, but continue following up, continue checking in with people, because look, here we are, I mean, 3 years after I started coaching, and you're our next rock star coach, right? Like, you never know where that new rock star challenger and then coach is going to come from. So it's just always a good reminder of that.
Yeah.
But I love your story, and I just love seeing you talk, because it's just so cool to see the confidence that you've built. Like, you have an amazing transformation. Like, I want to pull it up and like share my screen, because you seriously look incredible. And obviously you said like you've stuck with the workouts and all that, but like even just seeing, like when I watch your stories daily and seeing like the smile on your face and the confidence in your voice, like that's what's really cool about coaching. And you can tell that's come from like doing this, and like you said, sharing this with people and helping people and just loving it. So I love that. I love it. So, tell us a little bit about maybe like what your main hesitations were before coaching. Like, what do you feel like would have held you back, or especially like even maybe in the first few months, like what do you felt like you were like, well, I'm not good enough in this, like kind of some of those limiting beliefs and hesitations that you had?
Yeah, so I think one of the biggest things that I struggled with, and I think I was good at like inviting people like at the beginning, because I just had to share it, right? Like the first couple months, they're like, dang girl, like you look good. And it was like COVID, so everyone was home, no one had seen me. So then I had done 2 programs, and here I am like 30 pounds lost, and they're like, what the hell did you do during COVID? Like, sorry if I can't cuss, but, and I was like, oh, just these home workouts. And like people were just, I mean, I even was like, I was impressed myself. Like my husband was like, man, like you are killing it. And people just saw, like I went back to school, and they're like, wow, like you're so happy. Because when we got shut down, like I was on the Zoom meetings for our trainings at school, and I was just depressed. Like they could tell, like I was not my happy, bubbly. And so when I first started, it like, those people just come to you, like you share it, you post your stories. And like before, like I didn't even know what an Instagram story was. And like, I'm a newer coach. So like, I was like, what's it? I had seen it, like people posting stuff on Facebook, and I was like, what is this stuff? And then when I started going through the trainings, and I was like, what's an Instagram story? Guys, I love it. Like, I don't even care if no one listens to it. Like, I just chat and share everything. But so you get into, I think it was like my 3rd month, where like my warm market, or like my people who like, I just call them like my dirt people, like they'll buy dirt from you. Like they just love you so much, they'll just want to do what you do. I felt like I wasn't a good enough of a coach, because I just was so new to it, and I was still learning that. I was like, they're not going to want someone like me. Like I'm just a regular teacher. Like, and I just felt like I can't like devote 5 hours to this. I can't like invite a million people. And I had to get out of my own head and kind of get out of my own way. And honestly, I had to have several people tell me, no, not right now, for me to get it that, listen, Kayla, like I wasn't ready when Morgan asked me. I wasn't in the mindset. I was a new mom who the doctor told me I was losing too much weight. So if I had my, I mean, God, I loved her, and I loved watching her, but I was like, I can't do that. I was scared, honestly. Like, it was my 2nd baby. My first one, I lost the weight. I looked good, like, da-da-da. It was fine. But then with Lillian, he was like, you're losing too much weight. And so I had to wait until I was in that mindset, until I needed it to really do well. If I would have joined her, I probably wouldn't have been as successful. I probably would have been like, okay, cool. Or I just wouldn't have been in that mindset to where I need it. And so I needed people to tell me no. Like, it's okay for people to tell you no, not right now. Like, unless they tell you no, don't ever contact me again. Like, it's just a no, not right now. Like, we don't know. And I think this has been other trainings too, but we don't know what people are going through. Like, we may think we do. Even like my best friend, like she was like, I want to join you as a coach because I need something accountable. I need something to make me happy. Guess what? She quit last month because she wasn't supported. She didn't find the same success I did because she wasn't consistent. And so she just gave up. And so I also had to remember that my people that I want in this have to be my people. I can't just pick people because I want people. They have to be your people. Like, for me, it is busy moms who are teachers, who are educators, who understand like the public education turmoil, especially the Midwest is going through right now. And I need those people who will run with me. If we don't vibe, like I can't coach you, and I can't be a good coach for you, and you won't be a good challenger for me because you won't understand why I talk so fast, or you won't understand why I'm so passionate about teaching kids, or why I'm so passionate about being consistent. So I think, one, I had to get out of my own head, and I had to have people tell me no, because I had to kind of wake up and be like, okay, I need to find my people, my crew. And I still kind of struggle with that. Like I get in my own head, and I mean, I love that you sent out that Google Doc, Morgan, about like, what PD do you do? Because that was like a self-check. I'm like, oh my gosh, I do my devotionals, but my PD is just like non-existent. And so like, do your PD guys, like your professional development, find something, listen to a podcast. So I'm doing a podcast now as of today. Like it's 11 minutes. And so, yeah, it's, yeah.
Awesome. Yeah, you're crushing it, girl. I'm like, what else can I ask? Because like, I just want to keep rolling. No, you're doing amazing. And it's just like so helpful. And I'm also just glad, like, I know you touched on like in the beginning, sometimes it is easier in the beginning. Like you're doing something new, you're really excited about it. So like people might be coming to you more. They're like, what are you doing? Like what's going on? Especially if you do have a really good transformation, which you did. But I'm also glad that you said like when you went back to school, like people just notice that you're happier, because having a good transformation and like weight loss is awesome. But like not all of us have that. Like we have, I mean, Kayla, one of the top coaches, not one of the top coach on our team, didn't have a huge transformation. Like she was already pretty physically fit, but like people seeing you happier, like it's like crack, like happiness is crack. Like people are like, what are you doing? Like I need that too. So I'm glad you touched on that, but maybe share a little bit about, especially like there are brand new coaches on here. So like I talk a lot about that 3 to 6 month, like lull, right? And it's very real for everyone. Like you're gonna, even sometimes like maybe like 6 to on month, like you have all this excitement and then it gets hard, right? And then you're like, oh, like, am I going to stick with this or not? So like share a little bit about that, kind of like what you really did to like dive in and be like, I'm going to keep pushing because I know like I can do this.
Yeah. So I actually, and I think I reached out to you. So I actually did, it was September. So I got like Success Club the first 3 months. And so my first 3 months were June, July, and August. So I hit Success Club, like it was super exciting, got my free ticket to Summit, and then September hit. And that's when all the no's came, and I let that get into my head. And I literally questioned, I was like, man, I probably am not good enough. Like I got into my own head, and I even told my husband, I was like, I don't know if I'm going to continue doing this. And he was like, why? You have 9 people to help. And I was like, God love you, man. Like, yes, I have 9 people to help. So even if you don't have 9 people to help, even if you have 2 people to help, those are still 1 to 2 lives to, yes, he literally is saying, I don't know why he's with me because I'm crazy, but you know, whatever. But you still, even if you have just 1 person with you, that is still 1 entire life to change. And I had to put my blinders on. Like I was, I think Sierra, I don't know if she's on here, but she like must have started right before me, because I remember like seeing her name a ton. And I was like, gosh, this girl, she just got started and she's a dentist and she's super busy, and she has 2 kids. And so I kind of like felt like I was living through her, and I was like, man, she was like, just do. And I was like, oh gosh, I suck. Like I had to like just get out of my head and just like, I had to stay in my lane. Like you've got to sometimes just stay in your lane and just know, why did you start this? Like I started this as a fun little side hustle, to be quite honest. And I felt like I need to help people. So if I help 2 people, if I help 17 people, whatever, like I'll help those people, right? So you've got to think of, why did you start this? Did you start this as a full-time job? Did you start this just to help some people? Did you start this because you want to change your entire life? And those goals may change, because now I'm like, man, maybe I do want Diamond, because that retreat looked amazing. And I really could use $1,000 to $2,000 extra a month or whatever. And so those goals will change. And I've coached for maybe 7-8 months now. So it's not even been a year yet. And my goals have changed, I think, like 3 times. And that's okay. I started out as a fun little side hustle, and now I'm like, okay, I'm ready to hustle. But I did. So September, I hit that slump, and I didn't hit Success Club. And I was like, God, I suck. How did I do so good? And I see all these other people, but you have got to stay in your lane. Like, even if you have one person, like, those are lives, those are people. Who are your challengers? Those are human beings. They need you, whether you think so or not, whether they just joined you just because they love you, or rather they joined you because they really need this. They joined for a reason. And if you give up, you're not just giving up on yourself, you're giving up your why, which mine included my kids and my daughter, because I didn't want her to have to struggle with that body image and like look in the mirror and like feel like she weighed a million pounds and didn't love herself, And so my why, like if I gave up, I'm giving up my why. My why included my children, and I am not giving up. I'll be damned if I give up on my children. And so I literally had to not hit Success Club in order to realize that. And that sucks, right? Because now, like down the road, several years, I can't be like, oh, well, she hit Success Club consistently for since the whole time. But that's okay, because that's my story, right? Like I had, sometimes I have to just have negativity to realize that I've got to get through it. And then I didn't hit Success Club in December. Want to know why? I felt like I was too busy. I was not mentally. It was just my grandpa and my mom had both gone through severe health struggles. I realized I was turning 30 this year. And I was like, oh, good God. Like, I just got scared and I needed to fail once again. Now, did I love that? No, not at all. Like I wanted, and even Morgan was like, yeah, if you hit Success Club this month, and the leads in January are going to be insane because everyone wants to join right now, right? And I was like, well, not going to get those free leads. Well, whatever. But I needed to fail because I needed to tell myself, you are never too busy. Like you can do this in an hour, spread out through your entire day. Like work it however. So I got sidetracked, sorry, a squirrel. But sometimes you need to fail to realize that you can be successful. Stay in your lane. Don't give up on yourself. Don't give up on your why, because like I said, I'm not giving up on my kids. I'm not going to give up on my why. And even if like coaches fail on you, they quit, challengers say, oh, I found something better, or I don't need all this stuff. If you still have one person, you still have one person's life to change. No matter if you have 1 person to 200, those people need you. And I'm hopeful that if you have a huge group of people, that you still know all those people and they're not just a number. Because I didn't start this just to have numbers. Like I love all the ranks, and I love now my little group, we have like 22 members, and I'm loving that. But I'm making sure I'm reaching out to all 22 of those lives, because those lives, they have children, they have families, they're getting older also. And so that's why I started. So you're going to hit that slump. You're going to have months where you're like, man, I didn't help anybody. But at the end of the day, if you're still with it for you, you're changing your life. And if you're still in it with at least one other person, you're still changing their lives. So, sorry, I got on my soapbox.
Girl, you're straight fire. So a little bit, you did touch on especially for a new coach in the beginning, share a little bit about what you did in the beginning. What did it look like for you in terms of were you following a tracker? Were you just I'm just gonna start sharing on social media? What were you inviting? Share a little bit, and how much time were you spending on your business? Because I think that's important to remind people you don't have to be like you said, I don't have 5 hours to work this. Not a lot of people do. That's not what we want to teach. So share a little bit about what it looked like for you in the beginning, work wise behind the scenes.
Yeah. So to be 100% honest, I didn't even know what a tracker was. My first, I remember seeing the video and stuff, but I was like, oh, I'll get to that, right? Because I had people, I was like, oh, trackers, if you need people, right? So I didn't. And then I just continued going through my coach trainings, and I was like, you know what, I'm going to print out this tracker. And it was the original Team Beachbody one, which I like the one, I like the one that you or someone put on a couple, the weekly this. So I like this one a lot better. I don't know if you guys can see that one. So, cause it just fits me more, and it's just me more. So I did start doing that, and I I'm not consistent with it. Like, I'm still to this day just not, but I do make sure that I spend at least an hour throughout my entire day. So in the, maybe some days I have to work on the weekend. So maybe on Saturday, Sunday, I did like an hour, I think. But in the beginning, I didn't know what I didn't know because I had people coming to me. So it was like my second month where I was like, oh, I should probably use this. So then I started using it. I started just really utilizing Instagram stories, which then connected to my Facebook. And I just started talking about it. And I'm not just talking about on social media, but talking to people like in my life, and then they talk to their people, and then it just became like a huge conversation, especially like at my church. Like now I have several people just maybe not even always joining me, but like now they work out, and that is so huge to me, and that just gave me life. And so now I do use my tracker. I use the one that you gave, but maybe it's like 10 minutes in the morning, like I will check in my challenge group, or 15 minutes before lunch, while I'm waiting on a video to upload, because that's usually how it is at school. I still have to report to school, so I have to wait on videos to upload, so that takes a good amount of time. So I'm like, hey, might as well send some invites, or I follow up. So I literally like sprinkle it out throughout my day. And my goal is to get more consistent with it, because I think me doing a power hour all at once, when we were doing those power hours like every single day, I'm doing so well this month because I did that in December. And so then the overflow, everyone's finally like checking out, and like they know I'm serious and I'm following up. So there is power in like doing it now, even if people don't join you this month, it literally will follow into the next month. Like I literally hit Success Club January 3rd because I asked so many people in December, and they're like, no, not right now because of Christmas, holidays. And then January 2nd, they were like, check and check and check. And I was like, oh, I hit it. I didn't even know. I still have cards out that I'm like, oh, I probably should check that. So I personally do better with the power hours, doing it all at once. And I found that doing it after my kids went to bed was way better for me. But if you can't do that, like I said, like if you're a full-time mom and you have another job, 2 other jobs, like literally it's so easy to just sprinkle it in. Like there's times where I've been waiting on a train. I'm like, oh, I'll follow up with this person really quickly. Or I'll just do like, hey, just checking on you, getting ready to start this. This is easier to text to speech, whatever. Like I just literally just tell them, hey, I'm thinking about you. I'm going to add some new girls. Is it your turn yet? Like, are you ready yet? And even like following up, like asking people to like coach and stuff with you, like that's still kind of scary to me. But I've gotten better with that. And I just, ask at least just one person a week. And I'm like, do you want to do this with me? Yes. Okay, cool. I'll send you some info. No? Okay, cool. Like I don't try to pressure people about it. So yeah, just sprinkle it in if that's what you can do. Do a power hour all at once if that's what you can do. Do what you can do.
Love. So good. Okay, so what would you say? We have like maybe a few more minutes. Like what would you say to someone that is just like petrified of inviting? Like what's your biggest piece of advice for just like getting out there? And I know you already touched on like the no's, and that was so important. Like getting the no's is like, yes, good job, because you're planting the seeds. But like, what would you say to someone that's just like, I can't be successful at this and I'm too terrified to invite? Like, what's your advice, especially as like a newer coach?
Yeah, so that literally is me still. And I just push send. So I try to just be as authentic. Like I invite people that I really have been talking to. So I'm not one that I just cold invite. Like I talk to them about something else, or they'll respond to my story. And she's like, oh my gosh, like that is me too. Like I talked about yesterday about stop quitting on yourself. And she was like, I quit on myself so many times. And so I'm like, girl, me too. Like until I started this. So I just kind of like sprinkle that in. And I'm still terrified because of what they're going to say. But I have had so many people join me because I did. They said, oh my gosh, I'm so glad you finally asked. I'm not kidding. Like when I heard other coaches like on the other like higher beach body trainings, I'm like, that doesn't happen. And then I've literally had 2 girls who are like, I'm so glad you finally asked me. And I'm like, okay, this is why. And now this girl, like, she doesn't have to take her I think she had high cholesterol, high blood pressure. So she's off on one of her medicines because she's doing this, because she's drinking Shakeology. And she just thanks me because I'm a part of that. And I'm like, I almost didn't ask you because I thought you were going to judge me. Like, you have got to get out of that, and you've got to get out of like that. I'm a beach body person because people need this. Like, you started and you needed this. So if you need this, there's other people. And if you don't find your people, that's okay. What are they going to tell you? No. Cool. Like, what, they can't, I mean, if they judge you, they judge you. Everyone's going to judge you for something. So if you're going to judge me because I work out and I want you to be healthy with me, mind, body, and soul, not just looking good. I mean, we love to look good, but I'm feeling good too. And I love that even more. The worst they could tell you is no. And it's not always just a no. It's a not right now. Or they don't believe you. They don't think you're going to continue. I had another girl, she was like, I thought you were going to quit, because she knows me really well. And she knew I did like these crazy detox, and I did that it work stuff, and I drank the skinny stuff. I did all the things. Right. And she's like, I thought you were just going to give up. I'm like, no, girl, I'm not giving up. Like, I'm like, it's been 8 months now and I'm doing great. I'm going on. And she was like, all right, let's go. And so and I still like, I'm like, okay, Sin, like, I literally will close my eyes sometimes and I just wait and put my phone away. Like, you got to do that sometimes. It's okay. Like, and I still get scared. It's okay to be scared, because guess what? If you're not scared, that means you're not challenged. Like, be scared. It's okay. It is a scary feeling and it gives you a funny feeling, but knowing that you change your life is so much better of a feeling. So I still get scared, but I just close your eyes and push send. It's okay.
You're straight slaying. Yeah, that's what, so when I first started, I would literally sit down, send all my invites, and then I would leave my phone somewhere and like go do something else and just be like, I'm not even going to look at this. But you're so right. Like, people are going to judge you for something. Like, and we all do it. We don't mean to, but like that's what we do. We look at someone and like, so like if they're judging you for bettering your life, like, shame on them, not shame on you. Right. So I love that advice. Okay.
Yeah.
Just one last, drop some truth bombs on us because you're doing it all night. Just like roll it out with some kind of tip or advice or whatever you want to say to like everyone is like, as far as like whatever you want to say, getting started, like your biggest tip, anything like that. Just let it roll.
Okay. So let me think. No, I think if you are a new coach and you're struggling, it's okay to struggle. It's okay. If you feel like you are not impacting enough lives, you are, because you're impacting your life, first of all. And I think the biggest thing that I've had to learn is that this is my mission to help people, and I just happen to get paid a little bit for it, right? Like, in this job, we get paid pretty well, I think, because when I found out we got 25% commission, I was like, we get how much? It's not like 7% with my other, because this is my second like business side hustle, whatever, and it was 7%. Okay, and 10% went to the person below me. So I have just made it my mission that I have got to help as many people as I can. I've got to stay consistent and help myself first. And I have to help other people. Like, I've prayed about it, and this is kind of weird, but every morning after my devotionals, I pray that God will send me people who need me. And I swear, every single day, I at least talk to one person or I invite one person who is like, I was thinking about you this morning. And people know I'm a Jesus loving girl. Okay. And I literally feel like people I'm feel called to this. Like, I happened to stumble upon Morgan's nutrition video at the right time because that's when I needed it. Right. So maybe people aren't coming to you because you invited them, but maybe because you're content that you shared a recipe, or you shared about these crazy containers, or they saw your crazy life and they're like, man, this girl can work out and do this, and she has a crazy life and 2 crazy kids. If she can do it, I can do it. Because literally I say, if I can do it, anyone can do it. Right? Like, you don't have to have all this special lighting and all this technology. You just have to have a phone. That's it. Share your life, be authentic, stay in your lane. Don't worry about other people. Why did you start this? Why are you continuing this? And make it your mission to change as many lives as you can. And that's what I do every day.
Yes. I don't even have anything to say. You're blowing us away, girl. Awesome. Yeah. You're amazing. So I
Oh.
appreciate you just like getting on and sharing with us. I hope you guys, I mean, like say, like all of us should have got something out of this. I know she's like specifically sharing like for new coaches, especially, but I hope you guys just took so much and like jotted some stuff down or even just like feel fired up in your soul to go help some people. Like, if, I mean, that's been a long time since I've heard someone just share like the joy in this business of what we get to do. Like, it's so true. Like, we make money and yes, like this becomes a job. And so sometimes we do forget like this should be fun and we have a mission to help people. So thank you for reminding us all of that and reminding new coaches that that's why they're here, and to keep that in the front of your mind always of what you're doing and why you signed up and why you're doing this, and never to quit on yourself or the people, whether it's 1 or 100 that have decided to do this with you. You can't quit on those people. So amazing.
Yeah, and we're in this together. Like, sorry, I see all you guys and I'm like, girls, like we are together. Like we are not against one another. We're not competing. Like we're together. And that is what kept me going. Cause I put my blinders on all day long and just go straight and start running and asking people. But like, if I didn't have all you guys, like what would be the point? Like we're all together. And I love how you talk about like Team Cup. Cause I was like, man, who am I going to go ask? Like, and you're like, oh, let's do it as a group. I'm like, heck yeah, like we are a group. Like we're not competing against each other. We're in this together. So why would we not want to grow? And we're all women here. We're all like all different journeys, but at the end of the day, we're all women. Like we are a force to not be reckoned with. So why would we not grow this and just be some badass ladies? Okay, like that's all I'm saying.
Yes, 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 yes. Okay, you're amazing. Well, thank you so much for jumping on tonight. You killed it. And if anyone has any questions, everybody go follow Kayla now, because you're all like, I need weekly hypes. Like she's up on her stories all the time. So go check it out, and I'll have the recording up ASAP so that you guys can re-listen to this like on repeat every morning to get yourself hyped up for work and sharing this opportunity with other people, because that's what we need to be out doing. So yes, thank you, Kayla. Thank you everyone for getting on.
Thank you.
And you guys have a great rest of your Thursday and weekend, and I'll see you guys next week. Bye everyone.